What's going on, everybody? Bitcoin Birch coming to you from Bravado HQ with a very special guest today. We have with us Susan Zhou, the co-founder and COO of Qlink, and we're really excited. Thank you so much for being here today, Susan.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Yes, we know that you guys have a lot that you're working on and a lot of big updates coming up, so we're going to dive into that and just talk a little bit about some of the things that you've been working on. But before we get into that, let's just start by telling the folks how you got involved with cryptocurrency to begin with. You know, what really intrigued you to get into this crazy space? Just tell us a little bit about your story.
That was, I think, back to 2013. There is a pancake shop near my neighborhood, and they have a Bitcoin machine in the shop, and they started accepting Bitcoin. That's my kind of like the first touch with Bitcoin, and then I started to notice on the news a lot of people are kind of like supporting this currency. Well, I joined the team. I didn't do any crypto until I joined the team in the middle of the 2017. So that was kind of like I want to get to know the QLC. I want to get to know the project and how it's related to the Bitcoin. I can never go back, and my whole career on the crypto just started, and it's been smooth. It's been very excited, and I'm still very enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year for sure for you, right? I mean,
exactly.
Crypto really got mainstream attention right as you were coming into this space, and so that must have been a lot of fun. You probably have met a lot of cool people and seen a lot of crazy market movements and everything else, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the price is something that get my attention at first, and then because we are one of the projects, they have really dived down into the details of technicals, understand what works, what not works, and it's helped me to gain a bit of insight of different technologies and different markets as well. It's been really cool.
Absolutely, very, very cool. So tell us a little bit about your background before you got in to working with QLC or Qlink. Tell us a little bit about what you did before that.
Yeah, and I was in investment banking by training, so I was one of the private equity analysts in the Bloomberg and helping Bloomberg to cover private equity in Asia. And then I started our own investment bank with my partners, and we cover the financial and retail sectors.
Wow.
So it's been, it's very different sector, but we work with, it's kind of like wherever I was in the investment banking or in the startups, I always work a lot. So the lifestyle is quite similar, I would say.
Right. You still don't sleep, whether you're in private equity or crypto. There's no reason to sleep.
Exactly.
Very cool.
No reason to sleep.
So for those who don't know, which in our community I know we're big fans of Qlink. Qlink is a decentralized mobile network. That's kind of just the one-liner. Can you tell us a little bit more about what Qlink is and what problem you're aiming to solve?
Yes. So we are actually interact with people through the internet every day. For me, I can't live without the internet. It's first thing I check in the morning, the last thing I check before I go to bed. And we're not alone. And 2.3 billion people are using the internet every single day. So we either connect with the internet, especially when you use on your phone, and through Wi-Fi or mobile data. So we think the way this industry operates is extremely centralized. So, for example, in the US, you have AT&T, Verizon, we have China Mobile, and Three, which is operator as well. So they control all the resources. They make the rules, and you don't know how much you consume. They send you the bill, and you can only pay by monthly. The payment system is very rigid. So, and we think, but on the both sides, for them, they don't have too much choice because how network, how security was upper bounds of few server, and they can do massive customization. If you think about the users, they probably have the same amount of user as Facebook. It's quite a lot combined together. So how can they diversify the services and to suit everybody's needs, and how everyone can enjoy much more flexible, much secured, much fair networking services is something that we're thinking of. And having said that, we think there's quite a big opportunity for the decentralized network protocols. The reason would be so Ethereum, Bitcoins are decentralized computing, right? And then we have IPFS probably gonna rewrite the HTTP protocol to change the way that we browse the content and search the content. And when you have decentralized computing and decentralized content, how can you not have decentralized network to support those services?
Right.
So our internet was built in a way that's not very friendly to decentralized economy. As we move forward, there's a lot of chances that protocols can come out and helping the distributed computing, distributed content to support them and support more different applications as well.
Okay.
So this is a QLC's chance, I think, not touching on real life at the same time that innovates on technology.
Sure. So when I think of China, where you guys are you're based out of Hong Kong, yeah?
Yes.
When I think of the internet there, and I could be completely ignorant to how it actually works, but I understand there's a lot of barriers in place to prevent people from utilizing services like Facebook or Uber or other popular internet services. I know that it's not, or at least from what I've been told, it's not illegal, but there's firewalls in place or there's barriers to entry. Is that how it is with the mobile networks as well? And how are you working around that difficult landscape?
It is. So China is very rigid in terms of what kind of information they want to broadcast, and obviously there's a boundary of liberty, freedom of the speech.
Yeah.
So the way that we work around that is actually we provide one of the services that's called decentralized VPN that I can show you as well, which is available on our Google App Store, the Google App Store. So those are the bunch of the servers actually set up by our community members.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
mobile VPN.
If you download this app from the Google Play, and you can have a list of the VPN servers that's set up. So let me just, for example, you click into this one, in my fingerprint to go to the wallet, and you can click, and it was loading. I'll come back to you later.
Sure.
It's well connected. So it was connected to one of the servers. Now it's connected.
Okay, and then it's just rerouting your IP essentially outside of China, and in this case, I think you were using the United
I'm in Hong
States.
Kong. I got free internet here, but it's available on the Google Play. But
cool.
we are not aiming for Chinese users at this moment. The reason why is we are a bit concerned about the regulatory environment in China. So in crypto is technically in a gray area right now. So we want to open for the users, for the countries who are more friendly for the crypto. I know there are a lot of places in the world and accepting in cryptos, like countries like Netherlands, countries like Malaysia, Indonesia. So they are all big fans of the VPN. So this is just one of the demonstration of what you can do with a mobile network. We have a Wi-Fi sharing based on the same concepts building on the blockchain, that you can share Wi-Fi and get paid, and without disclosing what exactly password is.
Now, Wi-Fi sharing, that's one of the use cases of QLC, right? I mean, that's something that you have on your website. So can you talk just a little bit more about what that really means? I mean, that's not something that I think a lot of us are too familiar with, just the concept of Wi-Fi sharing. What does that mean?
So Wi-Fi sharing is it's very simple idea. It's like I want to share my unused Wi-Fi to you, and I want to keep my password to me. So how can I do that? Because there's a lot of way to steal my password, and I have to tell you the password to enable you to type into the password connected to the internet. And there is actually a lot of centralized companies that are doing the Wi-Fi sharing way, where they have to kind of like steal the Wi-Fi passwords, save into the server, but we don't want to do that. The way is we register your Wi-Fi assets on the blockchain. We are using Neo as a smart one, so I register on Neo, and your password will be kept on your phone privately. And when I browse all the blocks, which is registered Wi-Fi assets, I find you are online, and I connected with you, and your Wi-Fi password will be passed through the P2P connection and established between you and me.
Without you ever having to tell somebody,
yes,
without you having to share it. Very cool.
Exactly, without telling you what the Wi-Fi password is, and we think this could be used a lot of like co-working space or even restaurant, shopping malls that, when we go to those places, they have like a bunch of Wi-Fi, but you don't know who to ask for the password. And none of them could be connected, which is kind of weird. So this, by able to apply this technology to the people who manage the Wi-Fi routers, and they can be easily shared. I mean, you can, and we build a smart contract on that as well. You can choose to tip, or so if someone asks you to pay, and you have to pay.
Very cool. Thank you. That's actually really neat, and I can actually see the use case for that. I think we struggle a lot of times within this space to really understand what's the true underlying use case of the technology that we're investing in. I mean, the reality is the majority of the people who are going to be watching this video or who are interested in cryptocurrency at all is as investors. And when we start to think about where we want to put our money or how we want to invest in the future of this technology, what's the real use case here? Is it just Uber on the blockchain? Is it just moving something onto the blockchain for no reason? Or is there that true use case? And I think that's just one of the few examples that you guys have, some of the things that I like personally. About QLC.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think one of the biggest challenge for all the projects or for the whole blockchain industry is how to adopt the users. And literally, we don't have any applications that about maybe 10 million users, which is quite common into centralized applications.
Okay.
So this is kind of like obstacle we have to overcome for the coming years.
Absolutely, like any new company would. So. That's very cool. Now, your guys' consensus algorithm is custom to you. It's something that you guys built, or can you walk us a little bit? Walk us through the consensus algorithm a little bit more, and like because it's not proof of work or proof of stake, right? It's something unique. It's something different. Can you talk to us about that?
Yes, so this consensus is actually designed for network. It will be applied to our public chain, which is the QLC chain, and which is also designed for network as well. So during the network transmission, there is a fact, and which is 80% of transmission was done by 20% of nodes. And if you think about that, it's actually extremely concentrated. Only a few nodes take control of the network.
Right.
If some of them went down, and
it's centralized almost. I mean,
exactly.
Kind of
the whole network is just the network went off. So what do we do is because we want to create a truly decentralized network. So the way we think is how can we're starting from the POS. How can we use the POS in the network? If the nodes who are actively on transmitting, who have a lot of stakes, they have control on the network, and we can do that. So the proposal we had is we separate the role of different nodes. Some of the nodes were only in charge on the transmission, and some of them only in charge of ledger. So, for example, the big company like Google, we have a huge computing power, bandwidth, and transmission capability. will have no right to write on the ledger. So when you use supernodes, when you have to actually have relies on supernodes for the work, the ledger actually kept by another node, which means the work which done by the supernodes will be fair in this case. So
it's truly decentralized. It's exactly what you're trying to accomplish. Right.
Yes. So, for example, it applies to a lot of scenarios. So, for example, the bill that AT&T sent to you in this case will be truly record that's the service that's done by AT&T or any other nodes, and it's being verified by the third party. It's just like when it's just like our society. We want to encourage. We have rich people, we have middle class, we have poor people. We try to encourage that people don't have the stake and to participate, to offer the professional services like bookkeeper for the people who work. So this is the basic concept of the Shannon consensus.
And as you said, it's called the Shannon consensus, right? So very cool, very cool. So your guys' D app is called WinQ. And that's as you mentioned, it's NEP5, right? So it's on the Neo network. Can you talk to us a little bit more about why you chose to use the Neo platform as opposed to, let's say, the Ethereum platform or something else?
We chose the Neo. So first of all, I think Neo has they are very supportive, and it has very friendly for the developers, and all the ideas, and we talk to them. They are they kind of like echo back very nicely to us as well. And I mean, all the since we launched our projects, all the marketing, they're very supportive for the marketing as well. So having said that, on the technical side, they're supporting relatively high TPS. That's one of the reasons that we choose Neo.
Okay. And so what is WinQ? Just quickly, how do you explain WinQ?
So WinQ is if you can see this, it's available on the Google Play. So it's a decentralized VPN marketplace and Wi-Fi sharing dApp.
And that's what you were showing us earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
So that's the same. And I know it's on Google Play now. What are your plans for iOS in the future? When do you?
Well, I'm actually internal testing the iOS. I can show you here.
Oh, okay.
This is iOS version. I mean, on the UI, it looks the same. So internal testing, and iOS is a bit strict to the encryptos. So
yes, I know.
And I was still talking to them.
Yeah, still trying to work that out. Very cool.
Yeah.
So I want to transition now. I heard you mention it before, QLC Chain. QLC Chain is something that's been a part of your network for a little while now. So could you just explain a little bit more about QLC Chain and I guess how does your protocol create like a better internet ecosystem, right?
Yeah, okay, so the QLC chain is actually our public chain, and the toucher palette that it's designed for the network services. You can see that as first public chain for the decentralized mobile network. And we are trying to support the ecosystem, enable to anyone, any devices, or any organizations trying to operate this network, and they're able to do so and get benefit and get reward from operating and providing services to the others.
Kind of like a mining reward, kind of like you would receive a mining reward, except for you're obviously not mining. But the idea behind rewards is not unique, right? So you're looking to reward your users.
Yes.
Very
so
cool.
like the VPN I just showed you,
Right.
It's all servers all have set up by our community members. So, and I mean, I use the services, I have to pay them, and they set a small contract, they define how much they want to pay. And this is a typical scenarios because VPN used to be done by enterprises who have a capability to set up servers around the world. And now it's because empower for the QLC chain, it's actually lower the bar a lot. And when you talk about networking transmissions, it has to be support high TPS, low transaction fee, because no one gonna pay gas or make a call or get Wi-Fi connected
if they lose money.
And so, yeah, exactly. So we designed our public chain quite differently, and we use the block lattice architecture and supporting the virtual machine, smart contract, and the plus Shannon consensus as well. So
cool.
each account will have its own blockchain.
So users will get paid in the QLC token. That's some of the underlying utility there. And what's the time frame on a test net and then maybe a main net? Do you guys have a roadmap that you're sticking to for that?
Yes. So we're thinking maybe around August on the test net, by the end of this year, mainnet.
Wow.
So that's a plan.
Yeah, that's huge. And so, okay, that's awesome. And so with QLC Chain, currently you guys are known to the public as Qlink, and your ticker is QLC. But we've heard within the community, just on Reddit or whatever, that you guys have been working on maybe a rebrand or something like that. Can you talk a little bit more about how QLC Chain fits into the future of Qlink?
So actually, how Qlink will be rebranded into the QLC Chain.
A complete rebrand over to, so you'll be called QLC Chain going forward.
Exactly. So the reason would be, and we want to, because we already built our dApp, and we know what's the advantage, what's the disadvantage about infrastructure, and we want to spend more time to improve the infrastructure as the window of the timing is open right now, and we have the chance, we have the team, we have the capability, and we can do this. So we think this is a great opportunity for us to devote into research and developments for the decentralized networking protocol.
So what made you guys think that what made you realize that rebranding was the best route for you guys? I mean, you've built this Qlink brand already. What kind of got you excited to do that?
Yeah, we actually named our app WinQ as a kind of like the brand focused on user adoption for the services to the end users. But we need a business brand because we don't want people to think us as a Wi-Fi sharing companies or VPN marketplace. And so
you're bigger than that. You're a whole decentralized mobile network, right?
Yeah, exactly. We want to be the protocol, we want to be the infrastructure. That's a start point of the rebrand.
Perfect. And I think that's one of the things that I like most as an investor, obviously, is that you're not just a dApp. And when I first came across Qlink, that was my initial impression last year was, okay, this looks like a cool dApp. And as I started to dig in and started to read through the white paper and look into what you guys were really working on, I realized you're a full-on protocol, right? Like you guys are looking to be something that other dApps can possibly build on top of, or other consumers and companies can use. So I think that's really, really exciting, and I think you're grossly undervalued as a protocol from an investor standpoint, which is why I'm excited. Looking at your roadmap, looks like most of the updates the rest of the year revolve around QLC Chain. Is that the last major thing that needs to be done before more partnerships are rolling out? What are some other things that you guys are looking for towards the end of Q2? I know you said mainnet hopefully in Q3, which I know that you guys are going to work hard to hit all those goals. What are the things you guys are looking forward to on your roadmap towards the end of the year?
I think partnership is going to be a big part of the public chain because we are more focused on network services. So, and it is time to that other network service companies, especially operating on a very traditional model, to get to know us and to get understanding how this works, how they can use our technology. And having said that, there's a lot of other Wi-Fi sharing or other kind of VPN provider already send me email or just connect me through LinkedIn on try to understand what kind of QLC chain is, how can they utilize our technology. So we already got a lot of questions and requests And I think you will see some announcements down the road, probably in the Q2 or maybe in the Q3 as well. We definitely prepared those for our community.
Very cool. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That gets me really, really excited to see all the other stuff that you guys have under wraps that you're working hard on. Let's just fast forward then to, are there some events that you guys are going to be attending around the world, or anything that you want everyone to know? Maybe are you going to have a booth at a at some type of an event, or are you going to be anywhere speaking, or anything that you want the people to know that maybe they can come out and meet you guys in person, or ask questions, or see you guys chat?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be in US for the consensus. We actually sponsored that event. I mean, just to raise the awareness of the QLC chain.
Okay.
And we're gonna be in the US by the end of the June for another event in San Francisco, which is kind of China US blockchain conference. I don't remember exactly the name, but that's kind of, yeah. There's so many. We used to joke about one of the biggest application in the blockchain industry, the conferences,
Right.
and people just moving around everywhere to have a conference.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's conferences about having more conferences, which is, that's
Exactly.
that's typical stuff. Now I know
Exactly.
that now you guys are not open source, but your code and is all available on GitHub. I know that you guys have been pretty open with sharing your GitHub, so I'll put a link to that down here as well for those who, specifically for the Qlink data node, right?
Yeah.
For people who want to kind of read through that. So that's pretty cool. And you have a fairly large team, and I just wanted to know any other expansion that you guys are looking at over the course of the rest of the year. What are some other growth metrics that you guys are looking towards as a company?
So yeah, we have two metrics. One is we really trying to push the massive adoption of our app, especially for the decentralized VPN and Wi-Fi. And this is one of the areas, directions we're moving to. Second is the QLC chain. QLC chain will be groundbreaking, as we mentioned before. We'll rewrite a lot of stuff like on the Linux to adapt into the blockchain. So QLC chain, we don't have kind of like immediately commercial objectives, but for the WinQ, we want to have we just want to have a lot of people that active as our users there. So to be the lead applications that people can use through the blockchain, can benefit and experience what kind of services and the blockchain can bring to the real life.
Very cool. Congratulations on all your guys' success and what you've been able to build. I actually use VPN on my phone 100% of the time, and I'm very excited for your iOS app to come out. I will be one of the first people to download it, absolutely. And I'm excited for that.
We're running on the testnet at this moment, so all the services are free.
That's awesome. That's huge. So I'll look forward to using that. And then as a protocol, QLC Chain, I think, has a tremendous upside. And as I stated before, I think you guys are tremendously undervalued. You guys have also always been really, I think, transparent within the communities that I've followed, which I appreciate as well. You're very active on social media and everywhere else. And I think those are the things that you need to continue to do, because I think as people come into this space, that's how they're going to attach to your brand, right? Is if they know that they can continue to come to you and get clear and transparent answers. You guys don't beat around the bush. You don't put out timers for countdowns and announcements. You guys don't do all that crap. You keep your head down and you stay working hard, and that's something that I know that we appreciate.
There is such a thing. You do countdowns and announcements.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Half of the cryptos out there, they say, hey, we have a big announcement coming up in 10 days, and then they have a countdown for their announcement for an announcement. It's ridiculous. And as you would imagine, it has a specific effect on the price of that coin, and that's something that I've never seen you guys do, and it's something as an investor, again, and as an enthusiast in this space, I know that I appreciate. I think just to wrap up, something that just popped back into my head, I saw that you guys had some type of partnership with Binance before, or something to that effect.
Oh, yeah.
Something you can talk about?
Yeah, this is ongoing. We're trying to support the BNB in our wallet. So
Okay.
BNB can be, somehow used as the asset purchase in our wallet.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's neat. BNB for
very
those who don't know,
popular
is yeah,
for.
it's very popular and it's the underlying token for Binance, the exchange, and so that's really really cool that you guys have done that. Anything else like that on the roadmap for any other similar? Are you looking to incorporate other coins besides BNB?
Not at this moment. So besides the BNB, because the BNB have really helped us in terms of a lot of advices, the CJ, and He have given to my team. So we met
Very
them a
cool.
couple of times, and I think they are applied to the same strategy as our as well, to grow the users, so we bring the real benefits first, and then talk about technology.
Sure.
And I really appreciate that, and that's in return we would like to support the BNB through our applications as well.
Very cool. Congratulations,
Yeah,
and that's a huge, in my opinion, that's huge. I mean, Binance is one of the biggest power players in the space. CZ is probably
exactly.
one of the best people to know in the space, and so that's
That's
cool that
correct.
he supports you guys, and that continues to give me confidence as an investor because if CZ likes it, then I like it as well. So that's really really cool. Is there anything else that you want to throw in before we wrap it up? Any plugs? Any other announcements? Any websites that you want to tell people to check out? Here's your opportunity.
I think it's just one last words, and because the WinQ is an app we really want to promote this year. So if you haven't used any crypto before, or you just start to use the crypto, just try the WinQ because we're giving out the free tokens on the testnet. So
Okay.
any services running on the WinQ is essentially free. So you can try to send the tokens to another wallet without worrying about actually losing money. Just try it a little
Just
bit, understand how the wallet works, and understand how decentralized VPN and Wi-Fi works.
That's cool, and they can download that on the Google Play Store.
Yes, on
And
Google
then
Play, and soon,
iOS
hopefully,
coming soon.
yeah,
Hopefully.
iOS.
I know that you don't have any control over that. I mean, no one does, but it sounds like you guys are doing what you have to do to make those strides. So congratulations, Susan, on all of your guys' early success. I'm really, really excited to continue to follow along the QLC journey. And I also want to thank you because I know that you're very busy and you've been very open with us in our communication, and being willing to hop on and have this conversation means a lot to us as well.
Oh,
So
it's my pleasure.
I
I
just want
think
to
you
say
guys
thank you.
did a really good job on the community growth, and obviously you guys are very fun as well. Bring the boring finance and pricing stuff into very entertaining way. Great work, great content produced.
Thank you very much, Susan. We'll look forward to chatting with you again soon. And for now, take care, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Susan.
Bye
Take care.
bye.